Hey, so I'm looking to do daily Yu-Gi-Oh! Logs where it's just me playing on Dev Pro, and this is me facing Synchron deck with my 4-star XYZ deck. I believe I posted a video of this deck before. I use mostly the same cards anyone else would, but I favor warrior ones. Like, the reason I put in him is because you can special summon him with a light normal monster, so I have the Noble Knights because they're warriors, while the normal one, that's 1800. And I have the Alexandria Dragons because there's another one, it's the Dragon and Light. So I can do the light exceeds that are 4 stars. But he synchroed a lot of things here, but he also screwed himself over because of his own roll to correct. He probably would have won if he didn't have that. I mean, sure, he negated my bottomless, but overall that wasn't really helping him all too much. But this is a little loud for me, so I'm gonna mixer this just a little bit to make it quieter. Not muted, just quieter. I don't want it where my voice is quieter too, but essentially I just wrecked him, and he gave up there. I'm going to show you another duel real quick of me in a deck that didn't go so well. No, the replay is right here, so fuck it. I'm just going to, this is just duels. Most of this I'm going to probably delete, but I hate it. I hate Infernity. I don't know if I spelled it right there. I just quickly spelt it. Swap sides. It never likes having my deck be the main. Like, oh, this is an Infernity deck. That was obviously the main player in this duel. Yeah, like, this, I just hate Infernity. That kinda sucked. It wasn't a game breaker because of, Mirror Force. Though I didn't even need Mirror Force in this case. But, yeah, Infernity, you just succeed summon all day, and you just have an out for everything. I don't know what tier Infernity is for this. Yeah, that's why I have that. But unfortunately, that happened. And Infernity Barrier, there's really nothing I can do there. I have no idea what takes him so long, but it takes a while for him to kill me. I guess he didn't get the best hand ever, but he gets off his combo from here. So there wasn't really too much I could have done there. All I could do was just delay the inevitable. No choice but to really play Reckless Greed there. Breakthrough skill, that kind of sucked, but I just go in Soul Charge, and from here I'm thinking maybe I'll be okay. But it doesn't work out that way. But yeah, just get out him because you can just get free Kage to your hand and you can just keep going plus. But from here it's pretty much over. He won for the moment he played that. So it was a valiant effort, but this was the first loss I got with that. And after this I lost 2 stupid duels where I didn't even save it. So this is the last little bit you see of this particular deck. And then I'm going to show you a deck from Derpsville after this. One I'm kind of ashamed of even having. There's really nothing I can do there. You just Infernity breaks everything and I lose. I don't know, maybe there was some play. I could have summoned 101 here, but that would have just delayed the... In fact, I should have summoned 101 here. What the fuck was I thinking? Yeah, I should have summoned 101 there. I kind of fucked up. Could have at least broke over some of this stuff, but he would have still won because either he summoned something from removed from play with Leviaire, or just used Lava Chain's effect. But yeah, that's pretty much how that crumbled. I'll be right back with a deck that's more derpy. Here's a pretty basic... This deck is derp. It's terrible. It has almost no synergy. But it was a deck based off a deck my friend had a while ago that combined Horse and Armed Dragon, but that was back when Future Fusion was a thing and everything. It's not very good. I'm actually thinking of changing the decks around a little bit. I'm going to show a deck profile of both these decks at the end of this video. And I'm going to do what I'm thinking of doing starting next month. Because I win this duel, but it's not very handily. In fact, the only reason I even do well was because of Roll of Decree, and it kind of fucks over his deck. But it is just like a stall and attack directly kind of deck. It's not a deck that really works in the game today. I've tried it myself. But yeah, level up, and then I figure I can just Draco sack him. Yeah, Armed Dragon level 7, going up to him is actually not that bad, only because of the fact that you can use Draco Sack, but at that point, there's more efficient decks to do it like this, so I don't recommend building this deck. I hate to say. So, that was a nice little combo pulled off there. Just so I can destroy his monsters and whatnot. I kind of expected that to be a Spirit Reaper, but I may as well check just in case that I could have done acid damage. That kind of sucked, though. But I have ways out of this. Like, Horse does nothing. Like, you can almost never summon them because it's 2300 to break attack over something, and you're not going to have a situation where it's like that. I mean, you can tribute summon for level 6 and then level up, but other than that, you have really no way of summoning Horse. I've never summoned Horse with this deck. I'm thinking of taking out the Horse combo, just having Armed Dragon and Dragon Rulers combined. Excuse me. In a weird way. Also rely on a 5-headed dragon, which I put 3 of after this duel in here because I was like, no what, fuck it. If I top tag Dragon's Mirror at the end, towards the end of the game, that could actually help me out a lot. And I still think that. From here, though, he's just stalling, trying to do whatever he can to win. Though I don't know why he's not playing Swords Revealing fucking okay, he does. Eric, god damn it. For me, my fucking files never work out right. Which is one reason everything's delayed with the next episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Greatest Duelists, because I have to redo the duels for the show itself. But let me just show you a deck profile real quick of... Well, no. Let me show you a weird duel. I'm going to be unprofessional with this only because I'm pissed off. But if you don't mind this, you don't mind this. All these replays I need to delete because I don't even... All these worst plays and moves. I wish I could show these off, but they're probably all dead by now. But yeah, well, what the fuck fairy deck? This is an interesting fairy deck I faced the other day. It likes putting me a second player. I don't get it. But I was using my Armed Horse deck and it just wasn't working out very well at all. Now what did I set there again? It was Reckless Greed, yeah. Just try to get that draw power. Ow, my face. Maybe I'm overusing Reckless Greeds and Upstarts and whatnot. By the way, I took all these out. These cards are not nearly as useful as you think they are. They'll only bring back what you already level summoned, and it makes your opponent draw 2 cards, which makes them go 2+. So in short, I don't like them. I pretty much took them out after this duel. I might have left in 1, just for those rare occasions where it's useful, but you may as well just get a Call of the Haunted at that point. It would be even more useful, in fact. So level modulation is not a good card because you can't just like dump a level 8 horse into your graveyard. Though he did negate that one, so maybe he would have been in trouble if it wasn't for that. But weird fucking deck. Summoning these obscure fairy monsters. Oh, he's obviously Christy has not seen it, and you sometimes see the heralds, but never saw it in this exact combination before like that. I was thinking, I'm probably alright. Maybe I can pull off an upset victory not knowing he summoned God. And I'm not one to delay the inevitable, so I just quit. Didn't rage quit, I just surrendered. I rage quit sometimes, but I try not to, because points. Maybe on unrated I rage quit if it's like being too slow to surrender. I'm like, I don't have time for this, click. But let's get to the deck profile. To first the 4-star Exceed deck, and then the Armed Horse deck, which I'm probably just going to turn into a Armed Dragon Ruler deck. Alright, here's my 4-star Exceed deck. I like to say it's a little different than the normal one, but it's really not. The only plays I see is unique that I don't really see any other 4-star Exceed deck at least do in TCG is the Noble Knight and combo of that, so I can have multiple special summons at once and just fill up the field and really just spam the 4-star Exceeds, and it really does work that way. This deck's actually more consistent than it was when I tested it this month. Like before, I was getting like several wins in a row, but then it just loses out on being a main deck. In fact, this was my main deck before. But yeah, pretty basic otherwise. I took out the Mirror Force, put in a 3rd breakthrough skill just because if I had a way to negate the effects of this one duel I lost, which I ended up not forgetting to record, or rather save the file to. But other than that, it's pretty basic. Get rid of the back row, draw power, a few staples to destroy, and of course you want to get as much as you can. But there's not really too much to explain to it. Just spam out the field with the various effects of the monsters. Try to get as much to your hand as possible, which helps out with, of course, the Reckless Greeds, the Kage by using King of Feral Imps, and stuff like that, and reinforcements of the army. So there's not really too much to say about this deck. I don't use some of the traditional cards that other people use for 4-star Exceed decks, like the Star Wand. I forget what it's called. I don't use it. But this is that. Let me quickly go to just the Armed Horse deck, because that's the next one down. Armed Horse deck is a disaster of a deck. I just don't like it. Like, the Armed Dragon parts of it sort of work out, surprisingly. Like, I wish if I had more than one Armed Dragon or one duel, I could have actually maybe have done something. But that wasn't the case, unfortunately. So, I'm going to experiment with Megamorph, because I was thinking maybe towards endgame, when I'm low on life points, I can just Dragon Mirror and then have a 10,000 5-headed dragon. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. But what I'm thinking of doing next month, though, probably gonna take out the Megamorphs too. Take out the horse stuff, add in more Armed Dragon stuff, and put in more Dragon Ruler cards because they can all work off dragons. And try like an Armed Dragon deck with Dragon Ruler. It might work a little bit better than what I have here, but it's still not going to be a very efficient deck. But I'm not going to delete it until it no longer wins duels. And it won 2 duels. The 1 duel was just a default victory. But these are the 2 decks. The idea, like the ultimate idea, is actually to get out Horse somehow, but it's not very efficient. You essentially want to tribute summon to summon that, and then be lucky enough to have a level up in your hand. But tribute summoning is pretty much dead. I don't know, maybe I can do a different version of this deck in the OCG where it's like Pendulum summoning these, like and other 6-star monsters like Jinzo. Yeah, I love putting Jinzo in Pendulum decks. There's almost no counter to it if they don't have Solemn Warning. It's like, wow, I can't use Frontal Tribute, and there's like just really trap heavy in OCG as well. Though TCG obviously has Pendulum summoning now too with the new pack, but I don't really have a Pendulum TCG deck right now. Maybe I'll make one if one of my decks get deleted, and I'll show any duel where this is the duel that decided that everything's deleted. But yeah, it's not very efficient. The most efficient plays I pull off evolved the Dragon Rulers and exceeding with either itself or with Armed Dragon level 7. Other than that, yeah. I might redesign this deck. I still want to keep this because you can recycle through that, and then you can recycle through the Mash Dragons and the Truth Dragons, and easily have 5 dragons in your graveyard by end duel. But I think there's more efficient ways to do it than that. Obviously, this deck worked a lot better when there was Future Fusion, but that's no longer a thing, and it should never ever be a thing ever the fuck again. Holy shit. You could pull off so many dirty plays with Future Fusion. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this. Armed Horse sucks. 4-star Exceed deck, pretty efficient, but pretty unremarkable. I'll join you next time when I just play around with Cosmic Dragon, even though I'm really not a very good Cosmic Dragon player. OCG, obviously. I'll see you then.